Hello and welcome everyone. It is me, TheLaval, also known as the Power Tool Duelist, back for you with an updated deck profile, the first updated deck profile, and what else should it be than my Equip and OTK Morphtronics list. There have not been many changes to the main deck, to be honest, but there have been some things in the extra and the side deck that changed, and I want to just go over this, give this another shot. So I'd say let's put extra inside away and get into the main deck first, which is of course starting off with the main man himself, Morphtronic Cellphone. Best card in the deck, you want to machine dupe this, get this out with 1 for 1 and use the attack position effect, which is you roll a die, reveal that many cards from the top of your deck, and special summon a level 4 lower Morphtronic from those cards, ignoring summoning conditions. Enables a great amount of swarming and is your main playmaker. Next up, we have a playset of Morphtronic Smartphone, or we still have a playset of Morphtronic Smartphone. Level 1 tuner, which you can special summon by banishing a Morphtronic from your grave, which is great. Makes formula synchron with Cellphone. But just like Cellphone, he rolls a die and reveals that many cards from the top of your deck while in attack position, and he adds a Morphtronic card, lets you add a Morphtronic card from those to your hand. Also, what's cool in defense, he lets you stack your deck depending on the die roll, which is rather neat. Then, because I do run an awful lot of level 7 synchros, you want to max out on Morphtronic Scopen, which is a level 3 tuner that while in attack position lets you summon a level 4 Morphtronic monster from your hand, which is neat. Because normal summoning this, having a level 4 in hand, of course, is instantly a level 7 synchro, and also which, while it's in defense, it's treated as a level 4 monster, which can come up depending on your extra deck choices. I do think with the new extra deck, I have some ways to use that. Then going into my level 4s, I play 3 Morphtronic Staple. Neat thing about him is not only that he's an Earth level 4, I do still run the Naturia Beast, so I want to max out on the Earth level 4 Morphtronics. Setting him is also neat because while in defense, he can be destroyed by battle. And if he is attacked while in defense, he switches to attack and swaps an opponent's monster to defense, which gives you a bit of stalling ability. Then my next level 4 Earth Morphtronic is, of course, still a playset of Morphtronic Boomboxen. Boomboxen is cool because while in attack position, it can attack twice, which in combination with the United We Stand I still run can be quite neat. And also, while it's in defense, it can negate an attack on a Morphtronic monster, which is something that comes up rarely, but it is just neat to keep in mind. Then going into your second machine dupe target, I have formatted the deck so it can incorporate 3, but you main deck 2. Your second machine dupe target, Morphtronic Remoten. While in attack position, you can banish a Morphtronic monster from your graveyard to add a Morphtronic monster with the same level as that monster from your main deck to your hand. Gives you neat playability in combination with Levier, which I still run. The defense position is also kind of neat. Lets you discard a Morphtronic monster and add a Morphtronic monster with the same level from your graveyard to your hand. But the attack position effect is, as in many cases, the one you are most looking for. Machine duping this, making Platinum Gadget, banishing one of the remotens you already have in grave, fetching a Scopen, and from there going into Levier and maybe a level 7 Synchro if you have the appropriate materials is kinda neat. Then going into my last level 4. This one has changed. Last time I was running 2 Videons in this case, but I have been playing 2 Radions since then. Because I swapped a few things in the side deck around and I wanted to try the Radions in the main deck, and I must say they haven't treated me too harshly. Radion boosts your Morphtronics while in attack by 800, and in defense it boosts your Morphtronics by 1000 defense. Kinda neat, makes it a good normal summon / set when you look at the stat line. What I was worried about was that this thing is a Thunder type and not a machine. but I didn't run into too many problems with that, so main deck in Radeon is fine for me right now. And then I still main deck the one Vacuuman, just being able to, while it's in defense, suck up an opponent's attack position monster is rather neat. Going into the spell lineup, which hasn't changed that much, we still run the 1/1 for 1 to get out Saffron, or just get out the Vacuuman if we need it. But yeah, then we still have the one Monster Reborn, this of course being the premium gold rare one I pulled a few weeks ago, 1 week ago. And we still have the one Foolish Burial to just send Saffron to maybe recur it with one of our many revival spells and go into further combos like that. Then we still run 3 Machine Duplication. These are of course the gold ladder rare ones. As mentioned, I pulled 1 and got the other 2. Really think this is looking rather slick. Yeah, target a machine with 500 or less attack you control and summon up to 2 monsters from your deck with the same name than that monster. As mentioned, your main deck targets are Saffron and the Remoten, but we will go further into that when we get to the side deck. Yeah, then we just have the 3 double tool C&D, boosting a level 4 machine Morphtronic or your power tool dragon by 1000 attack during your turn and negates effects that would activate during the battle phase. And while during your opponent's turn, your opponent can only choose that monster for an attack. And if this card is still on the field at the end of the damage step, the opponent's monster will be destroyed. Kinda neat. Is probably the equip spell I end up siding out the most. Just because United already helps you enough with OTKing, and you kind of want the searchable extender in the form of Morphtronic Reaper unit, and then having this just to side out is kind of nice. As mentioned, we still run 3 United We Stand. Equip monster gains 800 attack and defense for each monster you control. You do have an awful lot of swarming ability, which makes this a rather great card that helps with OTKing. So yeah. Then as mentioned, the searchable extender I mentioned is Morphtronic Reaper unit. Discard a Morphtronic monster, target a Morphtronic monster in your grave, special summon that target. Yeah, is just one of your ways to recur Saffron, get that effect off as much as possible, go through your deck and make a lot of synchros for the OTK. Then 3 junk box, still here, still there. Target a level 4 Law Morphtronic in your graveyard, special summon it, but it gets destroyed during the end phase. Another way to recur Saffron, or just any Morphtronic you might need in that particular situation. So yeah, Themed Monster Reborn, what else do you want? And then capping off the main deck this time is not one Morph Transition, but it is one limiter removal, and this is a rather sick foiled limiter removal. Got this on a trip to the city at our local game store. A friend of mine actually got this one because our local game store was handing out these Hobby League pack cards when you bought something there, and she actually gifted this to me, so huge thank you to you for that. Then going into the extra deck, we of course start off with a playset of Power Tool Dragon. Once per turn, reveal 3 equip spells from your deck. Your opponent gives you 1 randomly. And while he's equipped with an equip spell, you can instead get rid of an equip spell instead of him being destroyed. Which is kind of cool. He's still my favorite card, and until we get a retrain, I will probably not run less than 3 in my Morphtronic lists. Then just the one Livestream Dragon takes a tuner and Power Tool Dragon. If it's Synchro Summoned, you can make your life points 4000. While it's on the field, you take no effect damage, and if he would be destroyed, you can instead banish 1 equip spell from your grave. Kinda cool, kinda neat upgrade to Power Tool Dragon. If you want to run Needle Fiber, he will be a target for that because he is a Synchro tuner, but yeah. Then I just run the 1 Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles. I don't run Smoke Grenade with this, but Charles in general has a good amount of synergy. You easily make him maybe with Formula Synchron and a leftover Power Tool Dragon. Or just buy accumulating level 9 synchro materials on your field. And the ability to pop a card on the field when you equip a monster with an equipped spell is kind of neat, and the deck really appreciates that, so he is cool for that. Yeah, then I run the 1 Cyber's Quantum Dragon. While you control a link monster, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with attacks or card effects, which is a neat bit of protection, I guess. And also, if he attacks, you can banish that opponent's monster or bounce it. Yeah, you bounce the opponent's monster to his hand, and he can attack another monster directly in a row. Stumbled upon this while looking through the cards from this year's Megaton, and this is definitely a really cool level 7 synchro you can run. Another cool level 7 synchro is still the FA Dawn Dragster. Gains 300 attack per level, and if your opponent would activate a spell or a trap card, you can reduce its level by 2 and negate that spell or trap activation. Then I run the 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. If you synchro summon, draw a card, and he can attack each special summon monster your opponent controls. Sometimes this guy with United We Stand can end the game on his own, and the extra draw is also neat because it helps you get maybe to another extender to just keep playing. Then, as mentioned, we still run the 1 Naturia Beast made with an Earth Tuner and an Earth Non-Tuner, and if a spell is activated, mill the top 2 cards of your deck and negate that spell card. Then we still run Old Entity Hestor, level 4 synchro. Sometimes this does come up if he leaves the monster zone. Target a monster your opponent controls, equip him to that monster. That monster has its effect negated and can't attack, and while he leaves the field, when he leaves the field, while he is a spell or trap card, you can take control of that opponent's monster. You can pop him with your own cards. Twin Twister, Morphtronic Accelerator in the side deck, so you do have some ways, but in general, maybe you can work with Charles here, but in general, he is just here because he is a level 4 synchro with a rather neat buddy. Then we still have the Armory Arm. Equip this to, you can once per turn equip this to a monster you control. That monster gains 1000 attack, and if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, your opponent takes damage equal to the destroyed monster's attack. Which is just cool. As mentioned, level 4 is a synchro level that sometimes comes up. This sometimes definitely helps with OTKing if you beat over one of your opponent's bigger monsters. And yeah, it has a good amount of synergy with my boy, and that's why I do run it. Then, as mentioned, the 1 Formula Synchron on Synchro Summon, draw a card, and also you can Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn. Still probably one of the best cards of the 5Ds era, and that extra draw is really nice because you easily can get to him with cell phone and smartphone. Then, as mentioned when talking about Remoten, we still run the 1 Levier, make him with 2 level 3s, once per turn, detach a material, and special summon 1 banished monster that is level 4 or lower. Yeah, rather neat. Recurse your banished monsters you banished off smartphone and Remoten. And yeah, that is it for the Xyz lineup. Then I still run the 1 Platinum Gadget, make him with 2 machines. Once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 or lower machine to a zone he points to. He will most likely just end up sticking on your board because you can't link him away the turn he's summoned, because that would to link up shenanigans, but in general he is still a very cool link monster that helps you get out another buddy. And then capping off the extra deck is 1 Linkuriboh. Sometimes you have a cell phone or smartphone laying around, and making a Linkuriboh just gives you that extra bit of protection that you sometimes will need. So he is neat for that. So with extra and main out of the way, I will quickly go over my current side deck. As mentioned, I do side the 3rd machine dupe target will be 2 Vacuumans. Sometimes that extra bit of removal / extra machine dupe target is kind of appreciated, and I do like Vacuuman for the hilarity factor. Then I just side deck 1 Raigeki, 1 Feather Duster for monsters and spells. Just neat. I really think it's cool that we can play those cards at 1, because those are really old and iconic cards. Then the 1 Called by the Grave, really hoping this goes to 3 on the next ban list. One mind control. Currently just saw this card on the maximum gold singles, decided to pick it up and wanted to test a bit around with it. Definitely a good going second card, so it definitely helps my build. Then 3 Dark Ruler no more. Yes, 1 Prismatic Secret Rare and 2 commons. The commons are from the Spirit Charmer's structure deck, which is something I definitely recommend picking up because these are like €2 a piece. The Dark Ruler is not a structure deck. But yeah, just getting these single Dark Rulers because a playset now is like €6, whereas one from last year's Mega Tins was, I think, 10 or something. But yeah, turning off all your opponent's monster effects is of course great going second, and this just helps with breaking boards. Then as mentioned, 3 Morphtronic Accelerator. Return a Morphtronic monster from your hand to the deck, destroy a card on the field, and draw a card. Nice even 0, can maybe draw you into another extender and shuffle back an extra machine dupe target you drew, or just get rid of a problematic card your opponent controls, and still net you a draw. Cool card, and yeah. Capping off the side deck are 3 Twin Twisters, just for really back row heavy matchups. Having those 3 is rather neat as kind of an extension to the 1 Feather Duster, as Lightning Storm is kind of expensive still. But yeah. This will be it for main side and extra deck of my updated equipment OTK Morphtronics list. Probably still my favorite deck. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds in terms of Morphtronic support. As we have been seeing, there is a good trend towards more legacy support oriented main series booster sets, and yeah. I will thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. But until then, goodbye.